Well, I was a hotel guy to begin with, FIU in Miami, and was with Sheraton Corporation for about 17 years, from Hawaii to Australia to New Zealand to Hong Kong to Thailand. And then after I opened the Sheraton Grand Laguna Beach, Phuket, many years ago, back in '92, I was asked to please come back to the United States after about 11 years overseas to learn the gaming business. So I came from Thailand and landed in Las Vegas, I think on about middle of July of '93. We had just acquired the Desert Inn from Kirk Kerkorian of MGM fame, and that began my casino career. Prior to that, I'd only realized that when I went into a casino, I usually had a good time, but didn't come out with many chips. So I also went to UNLV, took some gaming courses, and after 4 years became president of the Desert Inn. Sadly, we were taken over by Starwood, and they asked me to please find another place to work, which I did. Harrah's Las Vegas, Tom Jenkin hired me as the hotel guy. I had to take a step down from being president. And then I was with Harrah's and then Caesars for 19 and a half years. And that was a great run, a lot of development there. I worked my way up to GM in Laughlin and then regional president at Harrah's and Harvey's Lake Tahoe, Harrah's Reno, Harrah's Laughlin, and corporate teleservices because I had the rooms background when I was in Hong Kong. And then in June of 18, we decided to part ways, and I was hired by then Eldorado Resorts, Inc., Tom Reeg. Gary and Anthony Carano brought me into the Eldorado group, which was then and still is based out of Reno. I was asked to run a riverboat in Grand Victoria Casino, Elgin, Illinois, which I did, but I said, look, if you ever have an opportunity to move me back west, please do. Meanwhile, 3 months later, they began the acquisition of my old company. You can imagine how I felt about that, quite interested. Let's just say I gave them a few tips on what they might want to look for. And then lo and behold, on July 20th, 2020, I moved back to my old job, and more or less my old job. I was GM at Harrah's and Harvey's Lake Tahoe, and that's the day we acquired the old Caesars, and it's the day that I became GM again in Lake Tahoe. And by the way, that's my birthday. You can't make this stuff up. So there I was, minding my own business, enjoying being in Lake Tahoe, and our wonderful leadership, and they are the best leaders I've ever worked for. Tom Reeg, our CEO, and Anthony Carano, our president and COO. And they back in April, they said, hey, we've got an opening in Atlantic City, actually for Caesars East. We need a regional president. You're the guy. So I did not want to leave Lake Tahoe, I can assure you of that. But they made me an offer that was very interesting, and quite frankly, when you don't have to beg for capital anymore, life gets pretty good. So with $400 million in capital, a great team out here, and all the things that Caesars is doing, I said yes. So from June 7th, I've been out here in Atlantic City, and it's just been fun and wonderful and exciting, and it's never a dull moment. I love the beach, the ocean. I came from a big lake, by the way, America's favorite lake, and second deepest, but I guess the Atlantic is a little bit bigger and deeper. I love the beach, I love the boardwalk, I love all the properties being right on the beach. You know, we've had massive competition in the Northeast, obviously, over the years that have impacted Atlantic City, not in a positive way. But when you think about our location here, nobody can match this location. And with the largest gaming company in the United States stepping up to the plate with our massive capital investment here, I think we're going to be able to really recreate Atlantic City a bit, at least in terms of from a Caesars perspective. We've got 3 great properties, 2 on the boardwalk, 1 in the marina, and stay tuned on the investment. It's underway now, big time, and I hope by the summer of next year, most of it will be done. So we view this as our premium product in Atlantic City. I think we've got 3 very good products, and they're going to be better. This one will be our, if you will, flagship in Atlantic City. It's got a great location, it's got the Caesars name, but quite frankly, had been neglected for a number of years in terms of capital investment. We're going to have put in close to $190 million in capital here. Most of that will be in by July 1st of next year. It's, believe me, We've got the Ocean Tower underway right now. We're going to have most of the lower floors back, phase one, by the end of this month. Phase two begins to finish off the Ocean Tower starting in September, and then we get in also into Centurion Tower, 600 keys. So by the time we're done here, we're going to have all brand new room product. We're going to have actually two very interesting restaurant concepts here. Can't quite announce what they are yet, but believe me, we work on them every week. We're very close to being able to make that announcement. One will be both of them actually will be kind of countrywide in terms of people knowing what these names are. A major new entertainment concept is also going to be coming in here. The footprint will be in part of the Wild Wild West. And we're also looking at some suites with a very interesting name associated with those suites. So we've got a lot, and then we're renovating the entire casino, both floors, second floor and then the first floor. We're looking at a couple of interesting restaurant concepts as well on the ground floor. Some more exposure from the boardwalk. You think you're going to see some interesting new products available from the boardwalk coming right into Caesars Atlantic City. So by the time we get to next July, and then the non-sexy part, we're spending probably 27 million, new elevators, new escalators, new plant and equipment. Harrah's is well underway right now. Probably 170 million or so, close to that at Harrah's. We're finishing up the Atrium Tower right now, 260, 270 keys, which is probably is the most popular tower, basically an all suites tower, mini suites and then larger. Next becomes, that should be finished actually this month in August. The next tower is the Waterfront Tower, 960 keys. We're spending over 70 million, closer to 76 I think, on that particular tower. Again, that should be done by the time we get to next July. Those are going to be tremendous views, and they're bigger rooms, and they're going to be beautifully done. I've seen the design for them. It's going to be fantastic. We're looking at the old buffet space is going to have probably 3 or 4 food concepts in it, a bar concept as well. Stay tuned on Coastal. That outlet is going to get some love, if you will, and see some nice things happen there. We have the high-speed floor done now, basically. It's almost done. About 10 million on that. And then slots. We've been ordering a lot of slots these days. Close to $8 million of slots have been ordered for the 3 properties, and I'm about to go to Las Vegas for pre-G2E, and we'll be ordering probably at least that much more, maybe more than that. So by the time we get to next summer, you're going to see probably closer to 20 million in new slots here for the 3 properties. Tropicana is a wonderful niche, and I really think, Harrah's has got, the group niche and then a very, very good loyal slot customer base with some good table play. But that group base is big there. Our luxury product here at Caesars Atlantic City. And then Trop has got a little mixture of just about everything with a very nice retail component and the benefit of 55 million customers that are now part of the database. So they are now part of Caesars Rewards. And that actually, I think, opens up Tropicana and its wonderful location to those customers, which, by the way, are going to be coming in via all different kinds of means. Obviously we've got buses. People are coming in via their own transport. People into to Philadelphia, and then we bring them down to Atlantic City. But we also have our air charter program, which is the biggest in the business. So we can bring in people from all of the locations across the country that our competitors are just not in a position to do. When you have 50 locations and the biggest name in gaming, and the air charter program, which we developed over the years. I had a lot to do with that back in 2002 in Laughlin, and then in Tahoe from 2006 on. We know what we're doing with planes, and we can bring in the customers. Trop is going to benefit from that, as are the other 2 properties. And who knows, it might be more than 1 plane. We might not have enough lift with just 1. Well, Well, you're looking at the biggest screens on the East Coast. I mean, these are absolutely gigantic. You know, we didn't jump in first into the sports side of the equation. We first had to acquire William Hill. As you know, we spent quite a few billion on that. I think it was 3.7. Now that that's done, and William Hill is now part of our organization, they are Caesars Sports. William Hill is now, as far as Caesars is concerned, is in the past, it is now Caesars Sports. So now that we have launched Caesars Sports, I think you're beginning to see the advertising that we have out there. You know, the $5,000, you know, basically free bet. The ability to migrate a lot of our database into the Caesars Sports app. You know, obviously there's other companies that have gotten out there faster, but they don't have our breadth. They don't have our 50 locations. They don't have the amount of sports books that we have. We have the ability also to, let's just say, invest more than most. And so we have an ability there to create a much larger database than anybody else. And you probably saw one of the competitors recently spending quite a bit of money, you know, to gain access, if you will, to a gaming company. Well, that's about 1/10 of where we are right now. And we have other things that we're doing in order to allow us to move well beyond where we are right now. So we may have gotten in last, but we're not going to be last. We're going to be way out front. So stay tuned on Caesars Sports. And I believe that our team that is running Caesars Sports, Eric Hession, Chris Holdren, John Ozark, Christian Stewart, they really know what they're doing. Plus, we have a wonderful technology guru that we brought over from William Hill, who was part of our entire transformation. So we have got the back end as well as the front end, and more ways for people to earn than any other company in the business. So stay tuned on Caesars Sports. That's a very good question. I think it is a synergy that we're going to have that, again, others are going to have a difficult time competing with, because, again, we have more locations than anybody else. We have more reasons why, if you're playing sports, you might want to then take advantage, because you're going to be getting points, reward credits, as you play on sports on every single bet. So the opportunity there to develop on the sports side is there. At home, if you're playing online, is there, and of course in the brick and mortars there. So you're building a giant amount of reward credits that you can then use throughout the entire country. You can earn in one location, and then you can, as we say, burn in another location. Like, let's say you're going to a resort destination. We have 9 properties in Las Vegas, including Caesars Palace. We have Lake Tahoe, where I just came from, which is, you know, America's favorite lake. It's an absolutely beautiful location. Caesars New Orleans is under transformation right now. So there's many places that our customers can go and use their points on a, if you will, a destination stay that, again, our competitors can't compete with. I never thought I'd want to leave Lake Tahoe, but now that I'm here in Atlantic City, this, I think, is the biggest opportunity that I have seen in my entire career, which, by the way, spans many countries and many years. This is a great opportunity for Caesars to really help Atlantic City, to develop Atlantic City, to reposition Atlantic City, and to bring in more customers on the Caesars side of the equation than we've ever brought in before, and introduce them to this great location and these 3 great properties.